Guys, we've got a big fight coming up, and that means only one thing on Sunday evening. That means we're seeking the counsel of master strategist, 5-decade fight trainer, the incomparable James Gogue. Holdings proudly presents Warwick Radio with 5-decade fight trainer, Coach James Gogue. Guys, welcome. Happy Sunday evening to all of you guys. I tell you what, if it's Sunday evening, boy, and there's a big fight on the horizon, that means only one thing. We are going to be getting the big fight preview from the incomparable Coach James Gogue. James, how you doing, sir?
Hey, Joe. I'm doing good. Just waiting for that big fight next Saturday in Saudi Arabia, the one we've been anticipating for a while until Beterbiev got hurt, his knee and everything.
Well, I tell you what, we're going to find out in just a bit with our main event of the evening, and that's going to be the breakdown, the preview of Beterbiev versus Bivol for all the marbles at 175 pounds. But in the interim, and guys, we're going to do a tight 60 because we want to see the Cowboys versus Steelers as well. But we have to do this. And Coach Gogue, we're going to start things off by showing you guys something real quick, okay? Yeah, I have to get your take on this because I have mixed feelings about this, right? Here. I'm going to post this. Let me know when you can see it. And here we go. Can you see this, Coach Gogue?
See what, Oscar, yeah.
It's your favorite.
Here we go.
Time for the only segment in boxing that gives you the facts and makes you laugh. It's Clapback Thursdays. And this week, I have a special guest joining me. Let's get right into it. First, let's start with Eddie Hearn, who lost his mind after I called out the facts last week that all his fighters either lost or got injured.
It's all smoke and mirrors. When Oscar says I haven't built anything in the U or haven't got any fighters, I mean, if I want to reel off Shakur Stevenson, Jaron Ennis, Bam Rodriguez, I mean, that's 3 of my US fighters right there. Hello left him a long time ago. Right Garcia, God knows how that will play out. Jaime Munguia has left Oscar De La Hoya, gone to Top Rank. He's put in Barboza in with Ramirez, who cares? And Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez, he lost us. We tonked him around with Bivol years ago. Tell one fighter that he's a star that they have. And don't say Virgil Ortiz.
Eddie, am I just imagining that 14 of your main event fighters all lost this year?
Yeah.
14 fighters. It happened again last week with Sandy Ryan, and the week before with AJ, and the week before when Shakur got hurt, and the week before when Berlanga got destroyed. Here's a look at all 14 fighters.
No.
You must be the biggest pathological liar on the planet to try to continue convincing us that you're good at your job. It is a fucking train wreck. The Matchroom curse is a real thing. And you always bring up the fact that Canelo hates me. Yes, we fucking hate each other. It doesn't change the fact that I promoted him for 10 years and built him from scratch in the U.S. Canelo was with you for 8 fights and dumped you because you're incompetent and incapable of doing your job. Your record proves that. These are the facts. Oh, and one more thing.
Eddie, you said I don't have stars? Well, who's this? Fuck you.
Remember, folks, you're never a hater. You only speak the facts.
Oh, Chingo, that is amazing. Coach Gogue, I've got a mixed bag of feelings about that. First of all, of the 3 fighters that Eddie Hearn mentioned, Jaron Boots Ennis, Shakur Stevenson, and Bam Rodriguez, how many of those has he cultivated from the ground floor?
None. None.
And yeah, if his track record proves to be consistent, how many is he going to drive into the ground?
Oh, he's on a cold streak right now. But that shit happens in boxing, man. You know, you're on a hot streak, man. You know, you don't think you could get beat, then all of a sudden, you know, you go on a cold streak. It comes in cycles. It comes and goes, just like as a trainer. You know what I mean? Yeah, like Robert Garcia is hot right now. You know what I mean? But what happened, you know, years prior? What happened to all the, you know, what happened to all those years prior before he got hot? You know what I mean? No one was talking about him. When Maidana beat Broner, and he gave Mayweather them 2 good fights. Then Robert had Robert got trainer of the year like 10 years ago. Now he's hot again. You know, it comes in cycles, comes and goes, man. The key is you just got to keep working, grinding. And things change. Like Manny Robles, he was getting, he was going through a real cold streak, man. You know, every single one of his fighters, one after the other, they would lose. Oscar Valdez left him. All of a sudden, he pulls that big upset of Andy Ruiz and Anthony Joshua. You know what I mean? In New York, it goes in cycles, man. Eddie, the key is just to keep working, keep plugging away. Things that change. Right now, he's on a bad cycle, and to me, them guys, it's entertaining for the fans. They're ripping each other and all that. Everybody gets entertained, but reality is, putting on the best fights for the fans. That's being non-productive and everything. And they both work with the zone. They both got contracted dates with the zone. I guess Oscar wants more dates, because he who has the dates got the power. You know what I mean? You could sign more fighters. What do you call it? They give you bigger budgets. You can sign, bigger stars, and that's why Eddie's got the pull right now, because he has the inside with the zone. When he started with them guys, and they get, every time he wants to sign a big fighter, they got the budget. They'll give Eddie the money to do it. Eddie ain't putting up the money to sign these motherfuckers. It's the zone. But because the zone got a good relationship with Eddie, they want to sign Boots Ennis, or they want to sign, what's that guy's name? Shakir. They got the money to do it. They'll give him the money to do it. Whereas Oscar, I don't think they're giving him that. They're not giving him the kind of resources that he wants, where he could sign these guys and everything, man. So, yeah, but it's entertaining for the fans and this and that. But Joe, I'm 62 years old. I got time for that. Honestly, I ain't got time for that shit. No,
you're absolutely right. And
I'm 62. I ain't got time for that crap.
And I tell you what, you're a frightful 62, my friend. But I will say this. This is why I said I have a mixed bag of feelings about this. In my opinion, they're doing a great job for an eventual collision course between William Zepeda and Shakur Stevenson. Because let's just face it, those 2 guys, they don't sell tickets. This is a great job of heating up that rivalry, and it's going to come to you guys in February. Isn't that right, Coach?
Yeah, we'll see. Shakur got an operation on his hand. Let's see how his hand is. You know what I mean? I don't know what type of surgery he had. I'm just going by the internet. But we'll see. We'll see.
And also from a fan perspective, if your fighters are losing, now I understand promotions 101, protect your ticket sellers, but those guys aren't really ticket sellers. The ones that he mentioned, the only one is Anthony Joshua. And if they're losing in big fights, that means we're seeing big fights. From a fan perspective, that's not a bad thing, is it?
Well, what's his name? He draws good in Philly. What's that guy's name? Boots. You know what I mean? He
Ron
does good.
Boots.
Yeah, and he draws good, but he don't fight often enough, like he should be doing. You know what I mean? To create that momentum, he needs to, get bigger and bigger and bigger. None of these motherfuckers nowadays, man, fight enough. They don't fight 4 or 5, 6 times a year. You know what I mean? To create that momentum, create that buzz. Just transcend to the mainstream. That's what you got to do, Joe, to transcend to the mainstream. You gotta fight on a consistent basis. These motherfuckers nowadays, 1-2 fights a year, they get their big, lump chump check, and they're on the sidelines for another 6-7 months. Everybody forgets about them. They build no steam, they build no steam, no momentum moving forward and everything, man. Their inconsistency of their when they perform, you know what I mean? Yeah, they're
Yep.
you gotta be consistent, man. That's the key in getting the fighter hot, especially in the local market. You know what I mean? You got a guy that you think is a good fighter. Well, you fight him in that market that you're in on a consistent basis where the fans catch on. But anyway, that's why, Joe, the boxing nowadays, man, it's like, it's nothing I what do you call it? Get excited about.
Yep. And then if you're Eddie Hearn and you're paying out inflated purses, there's really no incentive for a fighter to remain hungry. Now, once again, we're all for fighters to make money, but come on now, fight for your fair market value, or else, you know what? Look at Keith Thurman. Look what happened to Al Heyman when he started paying out inflated purses. Look at Eddie Hearn on paying out inflated purses to a guy like Devin Haney. Now he's Charmin soft, in the immortal words of Tim Bradley, and he's suing a guy.
Yeah.
He's suing Ryan Garcia and Golden Boy Promotions for getting his ass whooped. Yeah. There it is. There it is, guys. And guys, before we move forward and before we tackle the main event of the evening, which is Beterbiev versus Bivol, let's say hello to our dear friends in the chat, right? Jesus M, welcome to the show, sir, and thank you for supporting the coach on this day. Also says Beterbiev, TKO in 11. We'll see what Coach Gogue thinks. Alberto, my brother in Christ, welcome to the show, sir, and thank you for always being a part of the program, sir. How are you guys doing today, Joe and Coach Gogue? We are doing great now that we're being joined by the incomparable Coach James Gogue. Jesus M also says Beterbiev will pressure and lure Bivol to a corner and ropes and put his punches together in combination. Well, like I said, we'll see what Coach Gogue thinks. Alberto, Joe, maybe stay on the call for the second half of the. You know what? I would love to do that. You know what? That's it. I'm gonna do that. The second half, while Coach Gogue is watching the game after the 60-minute mark, I will actually stay on and call the game for you guys, and that's always a lot of fun for me. Jesus M also says, fake Nello wanted a major payday for bum fights with Hearn, which Hearn couldn't afford any longer. Well, that's not entirely true, and I'll get into that in the second half. I don't want to bore James Gogue with any of that nonsense, but I'll tell you what I heard from several people who work with PBC. W.A.W, welcome to the show, sir, and thank you for supporting Coach Gogue on this day. He says, I agree, Coach Gogue. It depends on the talent as well. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Coach Gogue,
talent's everything, man. Shit.
Yep.
Talent. I mean, getting the cream of crop talent, it's the bloodline. It's the bloodline of what makes a promoter strong. You got talent. You got connections with TV, then you're doing good, man. Talent, yeah, man. They don't want bums or ordinary talent. They want exceptional talent, man, to showcase. Yeah, it's just like any other sport. Any sport, especially the NFL, always wanting the best talent available. You know what I mean? And yeah, you got to have that talent. But Eddie, like I said, he had it in. He started with what do you call it? The Zone when they first started. you know, did a terrible job, and he's still doing a terrible job at developing fighters. He hasn't developed shit in America. In England, I can't complain, man. He's a superstar.
Mm-hmm.
He knows how to do it over there. Develop guys from scratch, build them into ticket sellers in their local markets they're in, and all that stuff, man. You know what I mean? But when it comes to America, nah, or Mexico, he does shows in Mexico, nah. Now he just kind of like just puts on shows. That's all. But there's no what do you call it? Back end. What do you call it? Equity, meaning they're not building any fighters to stars. They ain't got shit. I mean, who they got? Pacheco? Who the fuck? Nobody knows who the fuck he is. I can't think of anybody else. They built into a ticket seller here.
Berlanga?
Yeah. Okay. Top Rank did most of the heavy the lifting. Okay, and they got rid of him, man. So Eddie, like I said, at least Golden Boy, they're local, Oscar, a USA promoter and everything, and they could, build fighters and everything if you give them more dates and everything, and if they do it right, if they do it right, build kids in their local markets and all that. But like I said, you got to have talent though, man. And in order to get talent, you got to open that checkbook out and everything. And I don't think Oscar, because of his bad experiences, signing guys like Victor Ortiz, the big bonuses and all, Frankie Gomez, you know what I mean? Gave him, they lost all that money, man. All that fucking money they paid that guy. They thought he was going to be this and that, but I don't think Oscar has the stomach to want to give these guys big signing bonuses and all that. He'd rather just take guys that guys like Ryan Garcia, nobody wants, that he can make the stars, or Virgil Ortiz, you know what I mean? No, he had to pay, but he paid Ortiz, I heard, good money, but it's not like, you know what I mean? It wasn't like, the crazy money some of these guys are getting up front. And that's it. The Ortiz is the last guy I heard that they paid. And I don't think Oscar's into, giving big, huge signing bonus and monthly stipends, like he used to do. I don't blame him. I wouldn't do it either, man. It's a fucking waste. You sign a promoter, your job is to get him fights, to build him up, build his exposure up, okay? Not to give him a motherfucking monthly stipend. You know what I mean? Let their manager take care of that shit. You know what I mean? And nah, man, that's their manager's job, okay? Your job is just to get them fights and build their exposure. If you think they got a high ceiling, it's not the fucking Top Rank's good at that, man. They've done that for years, man. Sign you to a contract, give you a big bonus, then they give you a monthly stipend. They did ever Felix Verdugo. All the money went down the drain, man. And other fighters. Well, there's fighters they did it for. It panned out. Guys like Mayweather, guys like maybe McGill Cotto. I don't know what. They didn't give him no motherfucking stipend. They gave him probably money up front. You know what I mean? But there are fighters. You know what I mean? But I'm saying 9 out of 10 of them motherfuckers you do that to. They don't make, they lose money. They don't get their return on their investment, man. I've seen it over and over and over. You can even talk to Trampler. He'll tell you, yeah, man, it's you sign guys, man, fuck that. Give them a little bonus, but don't give them a monthly stipend and this and that, but just get them to fights and build them up and everything, man. Because that's the hardest thing when a fighter turns pro nowadays. The number one thing is getting fights. Getting the fights, staying active, because the promoters got to invest in you, and they ain't making no fucking money. They're losing money right off the front end for 3-4 years, man. You know what I mean? Before they even think about getting a little bit of their return on their investment, man. All right. If you know the business, you know the business. I do. I know it. Oh, I know it very, very well.
And there it is from the coach. I tell you what, El Pinche OG. Welcome to the show, sir, and thank you for supporting the coach on this day. Salute, gentlemen. Robert Garcia versus Chavez beef. Who is right? Honestly, I've been so busy dealing with dates coming up. I will speak to Robert Garcia. He's going to be in town next weekend. We've got a big fight card, and I'm doing commentary for that one. So I will talk to him about that, but this is the first I've heard of it. Right?
What happened? Omar came in overweight.
I have no idea, brother. I have no idea.
Last fight, he came in 18 pounds over. Joe, last fight, he came in 18 pounds overweight when he fought my partner over here, who took the fight on short notice. 18 pounds overweight. But my boy Michi, he didn't put. They gave him $500 extra. Wow, he didn't pitch a bitch. He was a company man. You know what I mean? He went along with the circus, the program. He didn't want to upset Julio and Pepe, and he got stopped. Because the dude was way too big, and he got stopped in the second round. I think got a bad. He could have got hurt real bad. And he came to 18 pounds overweight. Just think what he weighed the day of the fight. And he probably pulled that shit. He probably pulled that shit with Robert's guy. But Robert, get this. Robert, don't take that shit. There were stipulations that he couldn't, from what I heard, he couldn't weigh more than X amount of pounds the day of the fight. And, he came in over. So, or supposedly, that's what I'm hearing. And, with Robert, yeah, man, no. He don't pull that shit. He looks out for his fighters. You know what I mean? So I know, I know from the last fight, I knew, they might have pulled that shit again. You know what I mean? But they did it with my boy Michi Munoz. But Michi went along with the program and was, he he wanted the show to go on. So they gave him, they threw him a bone and kept, Chavez Jr. happy. I mean, Chavez happy, Senior. Pepe, the promoter, and the show went on as planned and everything. But you don't blame none of them guys. You blame the fighter for coming in overweight. You got a contract. This is what you're supposed to come in and weight at. You know what I mean?
Yep. Because the last thing we want to see is an incident like Arturo Gatti and Joey Gamache. That's the last thing we want to see, guys. That was brutal, and that should have never happened.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, Joe, they both made weight. Joe, they both made weight. It's just what they weighed afterwards. All right. I'm talking about not making weight. They both made weight. Yeah. Gatti and Gamache. It's just Gatti he ballooned. He was, 15, 20 pounds heavier by the time the fight started. You know what I mean? Because
21 pounds heavier. Yep.
Yeah, back then, it was 20, back then they both made weight. It's just what they weighed on the day of the fight. You know what I mean? That was so don't I'm talking about not making weight and coming 18 pounds overweight like he did against my boy Michi and everything.
Oh boy, that's brutal. That's brutal. Yeah, and if that's the case, yeah, I would have taken the fight. I would have told them to go F themselves. That's it.
That's what Robert did.
And there it is, W.A.W. Yep, there it is. And so from the coach, Robert Garcia is justified in doing what he did. Outlaw, thank you for joining us, brother.
Look, Robert is an honorable guy. Look, Robert's a good guy. He's an honorable guy, man, okay? He's going to do what's right. He don't play that shit. He's been in this shit a long time, Robert. You know what I mean? I've known him since, like I said, his last amateur fight when my guy fought him back in 92, 32 years ago. And I seen him grow through the business and everything, and he's, what do you call it? He's an honorable guy, man. Whatever he ain't gonna, put up with that, that bullshit you could get away with here in Mexico. You know what I mean?
And there it is. And student of Neely Fuller. Why does Joseph sound like a look, man? I'm not fluent in fags, so I can't answer that question. So thank you for supporting the coach, though, brother. Appreciate it. Rodney Evans, aka Hot Rod, thank you for supporting the coach on this. Hey, Coach and Joe, I never understood these fighters. They only fight maybe one, maybe two times a year. It's like they're allergic to a paycheck. You get paid to fight, not sit on the sideline. It's just blasphemous. Coach, I couldn't have said it any better than that.
Yeah. Well, a lot of it has to do with the promoters too, man. It costs money. Like I said, when you're developing a fighter, and a lot of promoters, they don't want to make that extra investment in the fighter. You know what I mean? So
there it is. And especially if you're not a ticket seller, but how are you supposed to cultivate and nurture ticket sellers if they're not fighting? That's a quandary. So our brother G Funky Boxy, welcome to the show, sir. And guys, if you haven't already, please go Subscribe to my brother G Funky Boxing. Judgment Coach Gogue. I was watching some old Trinidad fights, and I seen you in Ray Lovato's corner, Coach.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. Yeah, I hope Ray get that fight. And I'm the one that, Ray was, what do you call it? His career was stagnated. He wasn't going nowhere. So, we were connected with King back in the days. And, you get connected with King, you'll get a title shot. So they offered us Trinidad. Yeah. So I said, yeah, let's do it.
Don King. You've got a funny Don King story, and if we have time, I'll bring it up later, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Big Luke, welcome to the show, sir. Big Luke from New York. He has been with us from the beginning. I call him family, and we call him Big Luke. Big Luke, good evening to you, my friend. Thank you for supporting the coach on this day. Bruce, Gas Boxing, Jazz and More. Guys, if you haven't already, please go subscribe to my brother Bruce, Gas Boxing, Jazz and More. Says, Coach Gogue, does this fight cry out for 15 rounds or what? Beterbiev Bivol, Coach. You know what?
15 rounds. It's a 12-round fight.
I know. I still wish it were 15 rounds, too. I can second that. Yeah, because this is a throwback fight, Coach. Toby, welcome to the show, sir, and thank you for supporting the coach on this day. Also, K Boomerang, Janabek Ali Manala. Boy, if we have time, we're going to get into that, guys. And guys, we're running out of time. We're already almost 30 minutes in. Let's just get right down to it, guys, right? So in the main event of the evening, Beterbiev versus Bivol, here's the tail of the tape for Dmitry Bivol. Guys, he comes into the ring at age 33, fights out of the orthodox stance, stands 6 feet tall, even in the center of the ring, fights behind a 72-inch reach. Now residing out of Indio, California with trainer Joel Diaz, and originally from Tokmak, Kyrgyzstan, Russia. He comes in a ring with a perfect record of 23 wins, 0 losses, but 12 big wins coming by way of knockout. Coach Gogue, what are the strengths and weaknesses, if there are any, of Dmitry Bivol, the current WBO title or current WBA title holder?
He's a sound all-around boxer, knows how to use that ring, got great footwork, moves in and out to make it a difficult target for your, if you're an opponent, it's a hard target to hit when you move in and out of range like Bivol does. He has an excellent jab, keeps it busy, steady in your face, up and down. That gets his offense going, okay? He's a typical stand-up European boxer. Starts with his footwork, moving in and out of range, boxing in circles, moving at angles. Keeping that jab in your face, putting the combinations off that jab. Knows how to stay off the ropes. He has his sense. When he's by the ropes, he knows how to pivot out of there so he don't get stuck on the ropes or in the corners. He knows how to keep everything in the center of the ring. Just basic 101 boxing fundamentals, amateur. That's the stuff he learned in the amateurs, out of those probably over 200 amateur fights he had. Very skilled, physically strong, good puncher. Puts his like I said, everything's off his jab, and he puts his combinations together real good. But the thing is, he has the ability to step back out of range. So, so he's not there for the counter. His footwork is his number one, form of defense. That's his number one tactic when it comes to defense, is moving in and out of range, and that jab, that prevents him from getting hit less. But his footwork is the key. He needs his feet to move in and out of range. He needs that real estate. And he got some pop. He'll get your attention too. And he's a good counter puncher. One thing I like about him, you overcommit, he'll step back counter. And he fights very, very well going backwards. You start charging forward, he'll take step back. He'll take steps back, but he's throwing punches. He's throwing combinations. Kasazu was real good at that in the amateurs, man. That motherfucker, boy. When I first seen him fight Vernon Forrest back in 92, 91 at the World Championships, boy, he'd come forward. Vernon Forrest would try to pressure him, come forward. Kasazu taking 1, 2 steps back, throwing combinations. fucking hard to do, man. Not too many people could do that. Bivol could do that. He has the ability to fight going backwards, okay, and going forwards. You know what I mean? A lot of guys just step back out of range without throwing punches. Not Bivol. He's on the offensive going backwards. And that step back, you know, he has that. He's been doing this as a kid, that ability to, you know, take that little step back, his back foot, to get out of range and counter real quick. Oh, he's real good. He's a very seasoned, skilled fighter, heavy-handed, could get your attention. Yeah. But his footwork, though, is the key, though. His footwork, ability to stay off the rope, stay out of the corners, not be a stationary target for Beterbiev where he wants you. Okay, that's what he wants to do, pin you on the ropes and bombs away. And with Beterbiev, he can hurt you at any time. But anyway, he's very skilled, very intelligent, and undefeated. Gave Canelo a spanking, and this is gonna be gave Gilberto Ramirez an ass whooping, which I predicted. You know what I mean? And but this is a different type of animal, man. This better be a woof. So,
well, I tell you what, that's a perfect segue into the tail of the tape for the unified light heavyweight champion, Artur Beterbiev. I tell you what, he's going to come into the ring at age 39, and his first fight since having major knee surgery. Oh boy, he's going to come to the ring he fights out of the orthodox stance. Stands almost 6 feet tall in the center of the ring. Fights behind a 73-inch reach. Now residing out of Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Originally come from Kazavurt, Russia. He comes into the ring with a perfect record and 100% knockout ratio. 20 wins, 0 losses, and 20 big wins coming by way of knockout. Coach Gogue, what are the strengths and weaknesses of Artur Beterbiev?
He's insanely physical, strong, heavy-handed, could hurt you at any time in the fight. But he has the skills similar to Bivol. His footwork. He's got great footwork, okay? Great boxer, works off his jab. Very, very similar. If you watch tape of both, very, very similar to Bivol. You know, Joe, these guys have been trained in the, what do you call it, the Russian amateur Eastern European style. Okay, they all fight similar. Okay, that footwork, everything starts with their footwork, in and out movement, that jab to get the right distance, to get them in rhythm, to get them in the flow, and everything. The combinations, what do you call it? Right behind the jab, it flows off that jab. He could do the step back counters and everything, but he doesn't fight as effective going backwards like Bivol does. Okay, but pretty much, you know, footwork and everything, very, very similar. Boxing intelligent, patient, takes his time. He's methodical in breaking you down and get in close. He mixes his combinations up very, very well. Vicious uppercuts he throws. The short, you know, he hits you with every punch in the book at close range, coming from all angles. Yeah. That better be. But the thing is, it's what he got behind him. Like Inoue, okay? He's got vicious, two-handed, pulverizing punching power. Can hurt you at any time in the fight. That's the game changer, Joe. Okay, when you got a fight like this that's evenly matched, the game changer is the power, the punching power, which Bivol can hit, but he can't hit like this guy. He can't. He can hit. He can hurt you, but not like this guy. Once this guy hurts you, boy, it's pretty much downhill after that. You know what I mean? But similar skills. Okay, similar skills, footwork and this and that. Intelligent, methodical in breaking you down. Patient, waits for you to make the mistake so he could counter. Oh, he's just that Beterbiev. I mean, he's. Ooh. You know, he's a hell of, you know, what makes him great is that one punch pulverizing punching power. Oof. You know, it's scary, very scary, man. And that, to me, that might give him the edge over Bivol.
You know, guys, and once again, this almost reminds me of what styles make fights and the intangible of mindset. One fighter has a severe mean streak, and you can see in the knockout ratio, you can see in his fights, and the other one looks to, well, win the fight with the jab alone. This almost reminds me of if Vitaly Klitschko ever fought his brother Vladimir. This is exactly how it would look, but at a light heavyweight scale. So, Coach Gogue, what are the keys to victory for Dmitry Bivol?
They're both similar, Joe, in what do you call it? Skills, style, talent. But the punching power is the difference. Okay, that's gonna if he hits him with a good shot, I think he's gonna hurt this guy. Callum Smith hit him with a good right hand and buzzed him. The bell saved him when they fought. Bivol.
Yep, I remember
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, he hit him with a good, and once he hits him with a good right hand, good left hook, I think he can hurt this kid. And I don't know how mentally tough. I never seen Bivol have to fight through high levels of adversity. Okay, I've seen Beterbiev, get cut real bad, didn't bother him one fucking bit. Facial expressions, demeanor didn't change. You didn't see panic on his face. He was just calm and relaxed. Blood was going down his face, but no big deal. He just kept on doing what he had to do, to break down and eventually stop his opponent. I haven't seen Bivol in a tough, grueling fight where he had to dig down and go through, a high levels of adversity. And when you fight this Beterbiev, like I said, you only could not get hit so long. Then all of a sudden in this sport, you're gonna get hit. And when you get hit, especially a guy like Beterbiev, oof, yeah, that's what I see. They're gonna be both playing chess at a high level. Okay, it's both gonna be. The key is who has the better jab, who establishes the better jab all night. Okay, the guy that establishes the better jab all night is going to have an edge. But that fucking power better be of anytime he can hurt you during the fight. And when he hurts you, it's all downhill. When he hurts you, you don't recover, man. I haven't seen a motherfucker yet that once they got hurt by Beterbiev, they recovered. Once he hurts you, man, it's pretty much he throws you in a coffin and puts the lid over it and puts the nails in the coffin. Yeah, man. You know what I mean? Both are similar in style, Joe. They both love to use their footwork, move in and out of range. I love boxing circles. Everything's off their jab. They both are intelligent. They feint, all that stuff, Joe. High level chess and everything. But the thing is, like I said, it's going to come down who could take who can take the other opponent's punch better. Yeah, and it better be if he's proven once he hurts you. You know what I mean? He can hurt you. Once he hurts you, you don't recover. But the only thing I'm concerned about Beterbiev is he got that knee operation, man. I don't know how mobile he's going to be or how his knee is going to hold up. Now, if he's going to have a problem in moving and that knee giving him a problem, I'm going with Bivol. Okay, I'm going with Bivol. Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, guys, it's going to be very interesting to see the media workout that's going to be happening on Wednesday, and my brother Thomas Triber is going to be there, being the MC of all of the week's festivities. I cannot wait. We're going to talk to him this upcoming Wednesday after the media workout. Coach Gogue, let's take a look at the odds right now. It's almost even money, my friend.
Yep.
Where Dmitry Bivol is at a minus 150. Artur Beterbiev is at a plus 125.
So Bivol's favorite
in my book. Bivol slightly favorite.
Probably because of that knee.
Injury. Yep.
Yeah.
So it's going to be very interesting if we see during the media workout, if he comes to the ring with one of those huge Sergio Martinez Maravilla knee braces. Oh boy, that's not a good sign, guys. We're going to find out. Once again, this is a guy who's going to be turning 40 in just a couple of months. We'll see what happens, guys. We'll see what happens. Right
and
now,
when's the last time he fought?
Callum Smith in January.
And when's the last time Bivol fought?
A couple of months ago in Saudi Arabia.
Oh man, man. I mean, yeah, that ring rust, man. Especially coming off a knee surgery and at his age. Yeah, man, come on. But I still, like I said, when both fighters are 50-50 and everything, the difference is the punching power. Yeah.
And there it is. There it is. There it is. And Jesus M says, Joe, is a fight on at Dave & Buster's. Yes, we're going to be hosting a fight party at our local Dave & Buster's on the intersection of 410 and I-10 in San Antonio, Texas. So, guys, if you're in the area, come out and say hi. We're going to be there. We're going to be having fun. Look, that just pretty much narrows it down. I'm not going to make a prediction until I see the media workout. And once again, if he comes out with one of those huge knee braces, look out, guys. I'm going to be favoring Dmitry Bivol because he's got a good set of wheels, right? We'll see what happens, guys. He's got now. When you look at statistically, Coach, aside from Shakur Stevenson, Dmitry Bivol is the most, statistically speaking, now he's the most defensively responsible fighter in boxing, with his opponents averaging less than 17% connect ratio. The only fighter who has better stats is Shakur Stevenson in terms of a low opponent connect ratio. Do you see that being a factor in this fight? And why is that, sir?
Well, they're all saying offense sells tickets, defense wins championships. What do you call it? You minimize the incoming of getting hit. Yeah, that's always gonna give you an advantage in a close fight. But the thing is, you're gonna get hit by this motherfucker, man. And if he hits you, he can hurt you. And when he hurts you, I haven't seen nobody yet recover from him getting hurt.
No. I tell you what, Refugio Garcia. Welcome to the show, sir, and thank you for supporting the coach on this day. How about them Pittsburgh Steelers? I don't know. They're losing to the Cowboys right now, 6-3. But we'll start watching that game in just a bit. Now, once again, you already know the odds, Coach. You already know the intangibles going into this fight. It's time for the big James Gogue pre-fight prediction. Gogue, are you prepared to make a selection at this time, or do you want to wait till the end of the week when you've seen the media workout and the weigh-in and all of that?
Well, Joe, the only thing I'm concerned about, he hasn't fought in January, and his knee, coming off knee surgery, man, oh, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, look, guys, you all know, you guys are my extended family here at War Week Boxing. You guys remember how frequently Iceman John Scully, his co-trainer, used to come on the show. I've invited him every single month leading up to this fight, or every other week, and he has refused to do it. That speaks volumes, Gogue. He does not want to give us an update. He does not want to talk about the health of Artur Beterbiev. In my mind, that speaks volumes, guys.
Well, we'll see. Only way we can find out, Joe, is how he looks in the fight. And at 40 years old, he ain't fought in 10 months. The other guy fought a couple months ago, so he's not going to have that rust. He's got fresh legs, but man, that punching power better be if he can hurt. If he can't look, if Bivol can take his punch, or if he gets hurt, have the mental intestinal fortitude to battle back. Well, I'm going with Bivol. Yeah. But anyway, I haven't seen a guy to this date. I haven't seen a guy recover once he got hurt by the hard punching Beterbiev.
I will say this: Iceman John Scully says, "Man, I've seen so many fighters." And my brother, Lonnie B, who was a sparring partner of Artur Beterbiev, right, several years ago, said, and Lonnie B is a guy who's been hit by a car as a kid. He said, I would much rather get hit by a car again than to have to spar Artur Beterbiev. And
Yeah.
if they ever offered me that fight, I would turn it down. That speaks volumes now, doesn't it, Coach?
Oh, the guy's a fucking animal, that Beterbiev. Oh, insanely strong, that guy. Just physically insanely strong. Yeah.
And there it is, guys. And there it is. So you're rolling at this time. Now, it's subject to change before the fight, but right now, as we speak, you're rolling with Dmitry Bivol by way of unanimous 12-round decision.
No, I'm going Beterbiev because of his punching power. But
Holy shit.
then Joe, but if his knee isn't good, I don't know, and he's been out of the ring so long, man, got to go with Beterbiev. You got to go with Bivol. I'm talking about a guy who's coming off knee surgery and he's going to a big fight like this. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Gogue, I can see this fight only playing out one of two ways. Either it's going to be a virtual shutout by Dmitry Bivol, or it's going to be a mid to late round stoppage by Artur Beterbiev. I can't see it ending any other way, sir. But that's why they fight the fights. We'll see. We'll see what happens, guys. And once again, we have about 13 minutes left on the show. Coach Gogue, it was just announced. And it's something that we knew it was going to happen. And I should have a couple of fighters on the prelims from San Antonio, Texas, as part of a ticket-selling effort. And that's going to be Gervonta Tank Davis is going to be defending his WBA title against the current super featherweight WBA titleist, Lamont Roach Jr. Are you excited about this fight, Coach? Happening on December 14th in Houston, Texas at the Toyota Center, sir.
A fight in December, that late in December, right close to Christmas. Oh, God, what a fuck are they thinking, man? Don Charganova told me. Look, Joe. Don Charganova told me worst time to do fights is in December. It's Christmas. People, if they got any money left, they're going to be doing their Christmas shopping and stuff like that. You know what I mean? They ain't got time for this fucking fight that nobody cares about. And in the wrong market. This fight should have been in that Baltimore, Washington, D.C. market. Okay, it makes sense in that. And Houston, the fuck out of here with that shit, man.
That's right, guys. And look, Coach, this is not pay-per-view. This is not a pay-per-view worthy fight, but because of how much money Gervonta Davis is expecting. And Double L, he's got the beat. Yes, Turkey Al Sheikh is indeed paying for this one.
Oh, he is.
And there it is. Yep, and there's a very good chance you're going to see David Benavidez in the co-main event to help bolster pay-per-view sales. I don't think it's going to help because
it ain't going to help shit.
Nope.
Worst time to do a fight is 2 weeks before December. I've been involved with fights. Every fight I've been involved late in December was a big fucking failure.
Boy, I tell you what, guys. Look, I'm looking forward to this just because I like being a part of big events like this. And and Coach Gogue, expound on this, but it's almost like the best part of being attached to an event like this is to see your old friends, guys in the business you haven't seen in months, sometimes years. Talk about that. That's like the best part of these events, isn't it?
Yeah, because boxing, you go to all the big fights, you see the same people all the time. Okay, it's a small circle of guys that go to these fights all the time. Okay, basically, you see the same. You see the same people, man. Because like I said, you get with certain managers, promoters. Okay, you're in. You'll be, they'll give you the opportunity to fight in big events like that. And when you go to these fights, you see the same people all the time, man. You know what I mean? And I haven't been to a big fight in the States in a while, since I moved out of the country. But I've been to so many of them, man. Since Jesus, can't remember, man. Way back then. Okay, last century, and you see the same people. Well, it changes all the time. You know what I mean? A lot of people, you always get new faces. You know what I mean? That enter the business. So I don't even know
Well,
who the fucking new face. I've been away so long. I don't even know the new faces. Right now I know Sean Gibbons is still a player. You know what I mean? Or the matchmakers, get Goodman and Bruce and all them guys. You know what I mean? But the new managers in the business. That are wanting to make noise, stuff like that. You know what I mean? I don't know who's who.
well, I will say this. You'd be surprised. They all tend to show up. All the old codgers, guys who have been in this business and boxing lifers. A lot of them show up for events of this nature. So I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to seeing my brother Ronnie again. Hanging with him in Houston, Texas. And a lot of the old fighters. I know Juan Baby Bull Diaz is going to be there. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. But
Yeah.
as a fan coach, can't say that I'm all that thrilled. But I will say this. I'm expecting Lamont Roach Jr. to put up more of a fight than Edgar Berlanga on pay-per-view.
Yeah,
He's actually going to try to win.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He'll get
But
knocked once Tank
Davis,
hits him. He'll get knocked out.
yeah, Tank Davis, boy,
What kind of
he'll
payday is that
and
guy? He must have got a good payday from Turkey for him to get
yeah,
that.
well,
To accept.
yep. Well, fighter availability is everything in this business, coach, when it comes to matchmaking. But yes, he's receiving a career high payday by far. And yes, he's getting paid more than Frank Martin for moving up in weight, right?
Well, the thing is, he still keeps his belt 130. You know what I mean? But you fight a guy like Tank, he could do a lot of damage to you. He's a heavy puncher, man. He's like Beterbiev. Once he hits you, man, I haven't seen a lot of people recover from his punches. That Tank, him and Beterbiev are, Inoue. Maybe if I don't know who else is out there, but them guys are, them guys. Once they hit you, it's hard to recover from them punches.
Yep. Also, Bam Rodriguez is one hell of a knockout artist at
Yeah,
Superfly.
yeah. Bam is.
Oof. Boy, I
We'll
tell you
find
what,
out when he fights Nakatani if that
elite.
fight happens. Yeah, Junto. Yeah,
Oh,
we'll see.
Junto
Yeah,
Nakatani.
Junto. Yeah.
Yep. Oh boy. I tell you what, K Boomerang, let's address this, guys. He says Beterbiev got the meniscus trim, not the complete meniscus operation. Apparently, 3 weeks he did bike. If Beterbiev was not at 100%, Ramsey would not let Beterbiev box at age 39. Don't fool yourself, K Boomerang. This is his
Oh,
last
give me
chance.
all that
Go
fucking
ahead,
money
Coach.
he'll fight. Yeah.
Yep. Rain or shine, healthy or not healthy. This is the last chance saloon for Artur Beterbiev. You bet your ass he'd take this fight. Yep. Roll the bones. That's his last chance to make this kind of money. Coach Gogue, we've got about 5 minutes left on the show. Do you want to talk about Janabek Ali Manallah and that terrible ref that allowed that gross mismatch to continue for 9 rounds, and he could have actually stopped the fight in round 2 or 3? Coach,
I didn't
did you see any of that nonsense?
I didn't see the fight, so I just saw highlights where he was giving that guy an ass whooping. Man, I pretty much, it was pretty much one-sided from the highlights I seen. So
that was awful. That was awful, guys. Now, once again, we've seen the absolute worst ring announcer in history in Australia, and that was for the Lomachenko Kambosos debacle. And then now we see possibly the worst ref I've ever seen. Like, this was downright negligent, Coach. Now, once again, we expect more at this level. And I will say this, no more fights in Australia, because that was just downright disgraceful. And Janabek, like, who is why is ESPN continuing and Top Rank continuing to waste their time with this guy? He's not a ticket seller. No one no one tunes in. You didn't tune in, Coach. And this is
I
a
don't.
unified champion at 160.
Well, Joe, there was money over there. I guess he went over there, Australia, because that's where it was better money than he was getting here. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Maybe he's
No, no,
got
no. It went to purse bid. It went to purse bid, no limits. Won the purse bid. That speaks volumes on Top Rank's investment in Janabek Ali Manala.
What was the purse bid?
I'm not even sure.
Yeah, then they had to pay Top Rank. He had to pay Top Rank 30%. Then he's got to pay his manager Aegis. But hey, man, that's what you got to do, though, man. In situations like that, sometimes you got to take less money. You can't, get big paydays all the time. You know what I mean? Sometimes, when in a fight like this, you go to purse bid, you'll get less money than you did,
Okay.
your prior fights.
Rob. Okay, I tell you what, Rob, show turn. Thank you for supporting the coach. We've got about 3 minutes left. Prime Triple G versus Janabek Ali Manala. Who wins? Is this a joke, Coach?
Who cares?
Anyway.
Yeah.
Is there? I tell you what, we'll give you parting shots, Coach. I'm going to stay on the line just for a little bit longer to talk to our peeps. But any parting shots for our listening audience tonight, sir?
I'm just waiting. It's a big fight next week. Highly anticipated. It was a big bummer when he got injured and they had to, postpone it. But we'll see. When you got a 50-50 fight like this, Joe, it creates a lot of interest, creates a lot of buzz in the boxing world. I mean, they don't give a shit about the fight in America because nobody knows these guys. But in the boxing world, worldwide, boxing hardcore fans, it has interest. Mainstream fans, they don't give a fuck about that guy, these guys. But anyway, yeah, since I'm in the business,
we want to thank.
Since I'm in the business, I'm gonna, I like to watch, good 50-50 fights against two high skill level, fighters.
And there it is, guys. And so, in case you missed any part of Coach Gogue's breakdown of this brilliant matchup at 175 pounds, go ahead and rewind it this time. Or you can listen to it all week long before you make your bets. But Coach Gogue, thank you for once again gracing us with your presence, my friend. And enjoy the rest of the Cowboy game, my brother.
Thank you. See you next week.
God bless you, Coach. See you next week for the recap, my brother. Thank you, Coach. Guys, and that was Coach James Gogue. I tell you what, it's not a big fight until you hear James Gogue give us his preview. And I tell you what, look, Rob, this is not happening as of yet. I can tell you it's been a rumor. It's not going to happen, guys. This fight is not going to happen. That's all I can tell you. I don't know what else to say. It's not happening, guys. Beterbiev versus Dave Morrell Jr. That's a terrible rumor made by fans. Okay? And the strategy behind this, or the mindset behind this from the guys, look, the managers. One guy's managed by Louis DeCubas. The other guy's managed by Louis DeCubas Jr., his son. This is a no-brainer and very easy to make. But they want the pot of gold to expound before they both step in the ring. Because right now, aside from diehard fans who aren't paying for shit, who's going to be interested? No one, guys. So once again, if you really want to build this fight, then yeah, they need to put them on the same card and build it that way. Or else you're not going to be able to build it. Just go to the old school promotional method of building fights. Put them both on the same card and build it that way, guys. That's how Don Chargan did it. That's how good promoters do it. If you handle both guys, that's the only way to do it, guys, especially when neither guy is a huge ticket seller. Right? So anyway, that's how to do it. And if you saw that, then I would say, okay, then that fight more than likely is going to happen in 2025. But until I see that, don't count on that happening anytime soon, guys. If Hawker Mustang, welcome to the show, sir. If Janabek was a Meskin, he would be popular. Look, guys, if he were Meskin, he wouldn't fight the way he does. He fights like a Cuban. He is a counterpuncher by trade, and you cannot force him to take the lead. He won't do it. He is a fighter a lot like Terrence Crawford. Now, Hawker Mustang said, oh, he would have whooped the shit out of Terrence Crawford. I will say this. That's the most boring matchup that you can make outside of Tank Davis versus Edwin De Los Santos. Two counterpunchers staring at each other, not willing to take the lead and let his hands go first. Yeah, it's going to be like watching paint dry, guys. It's going to be worse than what we just saw Terrence Crawford in. No, thank you. No, thank you, guys. I will say this, though. Terrence Crawford, he's been making a lot of noise and going back and forth with Teofimo Lopez. There's no point. I'm going to tell you this. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about that. People have been asking me, oh, what are your thoughts on that? It's nothing but nonsense and noise. Alberto, my brother in Christ, thank you for hanging with me. And while it's halftime, guys, does anyone know what the score is right now? Does anyone know what the score is at halftime? Is it still 6-3? I don't know. But because I was focusing on my brother James Gogue. And I tell you what, guys, no one breaks down a fight quite like James Gogue. And I'm really going to be interested in developing my betting strategy the more I see both fighters, right? Rob 23K, thank you for hanging with me, my friend. Y'all think Jai Opataya is too big for Beterbiev or fair fight? Look, as much as we've seen Jai Opataya get hit, I don't like that fight for Jai Opataya. Very athletic, good puncher himself, but look, he got hit way too much in his last fight or his fight before, right? I don't like that fight for Jai Opataya. In my opinion, Beterbiev folds him like a lawn chair in the mid to late rounds. So yes, it's a competitive fight for as long as it lasts. But in my opinion, I think it ends if Beterbiev is still Beterbiev. Now, once again, that remains to be seen. But if he is, I think Beterbiev folds him like a lawn chair, and it looks an awful lot like his fight with Alexander Gvosdik, where Jai Opataya is winning the fights until he isn't. And Alberto, no, I honestly can't stand when guys just go back and forth on social media. It's ultimately a waste of time. And honestly, I don't have the energy or the time to keep up with any of that nonsense. The only reason why I've been keeping up with Eddie Hearn versus Oscar De La Hoya going back and forth, one, is pretty damn entertaining. And two, I think they're both setting the table for two guys who have a hard time promoting their own fights in Shakur Stevenson versus William Zepeda. In my opinion, both guys have decided, yeah, we'll go ahead and promote the fight because we're going to lock horns in February. And guys, they're doing a masterful job of promoting that matchup because when it does happen, everyone's going to be interested in Oscar versus Eddie. And I, for one, am going to be dialed in. I already am, guys. But from what I've been told, it's all going to be contingent on whether or not Shakur Stevenson's hand is ready, right? Is ready. Does he want to go right into the lion's den against William Zepeda and not have a tune-up to test that hand out? That remains to be seen, guys. But according to Coach Panda, who Coach Gogue is very good friends with, yeah, that's the idea, is they're working on a deal to make that fight a reality. William Zepeda versus Shakur Stevenson in February, right? So we'll see what happens, guys. We'll see what happens. Hold on. I need to get this. This is pretty cool. Hold on. Okay. Akar Mustang, he says, Teofimo Lopez is suing Bob Arum, guys. You know, who doesn't sue Bob Arum? Once again, guys, lawsuits are a dime a dozen within the sport of boxing. And Teofimo Lopez, he has his own problems, and he has himself to blame for not getting the big assignments because he had a chance to fight Ryan Garcia earlier this year. Why didn't he? He priced himself out. He wanted too much, thinking that he was a big swinging dick in the room, and because he had a world title. But look, brother, if you're only fighting in the Hulu Theater in your home area of New York, then you know what? Sorry. Golden Boy was being generous, and Ryan Garcia offered him 40%, right? And a $5 million guarantee. He turned that down, thought he deserved the lion's share. He's turned down so many assignments. Honestly, I don't know how much longer Top Rank is going to want to work with this guy. It's like he's got $1 million athletic attributes and a 10-cent head. So that's the reason why Refugio Garcia, that's the reason why he hasn't grossed or netted, I should say, well over $1 million yet, because he's too stupid. And honestly, I can't understand it. So the takeover, what is he referring to? Taking over the unemployment line? What? What is it? And Rob, 23. Yep. You know what, though? William Zepeda has the style to bring out the best in Shakur Stevenson. Like, honestly, I can see Shakur turning this guy and making him pay every time he lets his hands go. But once again, it's that damn engine. Look, if I'm William Zepeda or if I'm Shakur Stevenson, I am studying the blueprint that Liam Perro put forth in defeating Subriel Matias, because they both have the same trainer, Coach Panda. They're both stablemates, and they both fight exactly the same way. Shakur Stevenson is such a smart, well-trained athlete, and he is such a brilliant defensive-minded fighter, and he's a brilliant counterpuncher. In my opinion, if he just studies that, yeah, they can make this fight look extremely easy. Easy. And he can look like Floyd Mayweather Jr. doing it, in my opinion. William Zepeda, if he doesn't knock Shakur Stevenson out, is going to get taken to school. He's going to be shredded. And it's going to turn Shakur Stevenson into a superstar. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. And K Boomerang has the beat. Bob is an old guy who knows the beat. He is the best in the business still. Bob Arum may be 93, but no one knows this business better than Bob. And he's surrounded by two Hall of Fame matchmakers, Bruce Trampler and Brad Goodman, who have the tools and have the know-how, and have the platform to cultivate and nurture attractions. So it's only a matter of time, guys, before they do develop another one. Once again, guys, look, I hate to say this, guys. My son's been trying to call in, and so I think I'm going to watch the game with my son. I'm sorry about that, guys, but I think I'm going to have to go back on my word, and I think I'm going to watch the second half with my sonny. But, guys, we will be on the show tomorrow to speak with Rick Glazer. And after that, immediately following the Rick Glazer segment, we're going to be joined by Adam Lopez. And so expect a marathon show tomorrow. We're going to be on for at least 2 hours. I can promise you that. And before I leave, my brother, my nephew, Tony Manzano from Florida, Welcome to the show, sir, and thank you for joining us. So, Joe, I've said multiple times about William Zepeda. He's not what we would consider a traditional volume puncher, just throwing it just to throw. It applies intelligent pressure. Look, I don't see him applying in my opinion, I don't see him applying intelligent pressure. I don't. I see him like Subriel Matthias, almost exactly. Where if you disrupt his timing and rhythm, if you disrupt his rhythm, just like Liam Perro did, and smother his offense and keep turning him, right? After you let your hands go, you smother his offense, just like Perro did Subriel Matthias. In my opinion, if you do that to William Zepeda, he's going to have the same exact problems that Matthias had. And I think Shakur Stevenson is smart enough and well-trained enough where I can see exactly that happening. I don't like this fight for William Zepeda. I don't. And I also, I love it for the fans, but I don't like it for William Zepeda. But look, pick your poison. How do you want to get your ass whooped? Methodically, like Shakur Stevenson, or get flattened by a guy like Tank Davis? Guys, notice, have you ever heard Oscar and William Zepeda call out Tank Davis? I've never heard that. I haven't seen it. Rob 23. Look, guys, Jamal has to take care of that hit and run incident, guys, that he had. So I don't know if you want. So what are you going to call the fight card? Hit and run? Because you've got two guys, Tank Davis and Jamal Charlo, who are both, they both did a hit and run, right? One guy was jailed for it. Another guy's more than likely going to be jailed for it. And you don't dare put Jamal Charlo, because then you've got then two wife beaters on the same card. So, in my opinion, even though they're both from Houston, you don't dare put either Charlo on this card, guys. You don't do it. You don't do it. But that's just me thinking like a promoter, right? So there it is. Guys, look. Guys, I'm going to have to, we're going to have to reconvene because I want to watch this game with my son. But Alberto, I'll tell you what, some other time, brother, I will call a Cowboy game. But right now I'm going to watch it with my son. He's been calling in. And K Boomerang, thank you for the well wishes, my friend. And I always have a great time watching my Cowboys with my sonny. Guys, if you're interested, check out Roshi. That's my sonny's band. And he makes all of the entrance music or the theme music for our shows, right? And we're working on a new 4-song EP with all new material. And guys, hey, wish me luck. It looks like I've just been recruited. On top of working with my son on trying to put together a police tribute band, I've now been recruited to be the lead singer in a Whitesnake tribute band. Isn't that cool? So yeah, the old man still has it. I can sing all of that stuff. The EP should be out by Christmas time. So there it is, guys. But look, guys. Yes, guys, that was all a rumor. And I already told you guys, Spence, whatever he was going to accomplish in boxing, it's already happened, right? It's already happened. Thank you, Alberto. I appreciate it, my friend. Oh, I'll tell you what. Let me put down the link here, guys. I'm going to find it for you guys on YouTube, okay? This was the last signed effort that I actually recorded, and it was signed with YKM Records, an independent label. And it was in a metal band called Red IV. And I'll, let's see. And it's cool. One of my fighters, he's going to be coming out to this song when he turns pro. And I'll put down the link. And here it is, guys. Okay. Here it is, guys. Bam. There it is, guys. If you'd like to check out one of my songs in my last original metal band I was in, now I'll give you guys some liner notes here. On this recording specifically, I'm doing everything on this one. I not only wrote the song, I am doing all the lead vocals, I'm doing all of the guitars, I'm playing all the bass, and I'm doing the drums on this as well. I did everything myself in the studio for this. And Mateo, that doesn't surprise me one bit, brother. Yeah. And there it is, guys. Yeah, guys. So thank you, Alberto. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for checking it out. And let me know what you think when we come on the air tomorrow. Okay, guys? But look, I'm going to enjoy the rest of my evening with my sonny, and I will see you guys tomorrow. But guys, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for always being our extended Warwick boxing family. And guys, we will see you tomorrow night. But in case you missed any part of the show, go and rewind it and listen to Gogue's soak in his pearls of wisdom. And let me know what you think, guys. How are you guys going to bet? And who are you guys picking for this Saturday night's main event from Saudi Arabia? And guys, don't forget, right after the media workout, we're going to be joining our brother, Thomas Schreiber, this Wednesday night. So we've got a full week. And yes, we will indeed be joined by Ronnie Shields again on Tuesday. And we're going to be joined by Rick Glazier and Adam Lopez tomorrow night. But guys, on behalf of the great Coach James Gogue, I'm Joseph Heron. You've been listening to Warwick Boxing. Have a great week, everybody.
Holdings proudly presents Warwick Radio with 5-decade fight trainer, Coach James Gogue.